In pretty much any company, there's this document, the Anti-Bribery Policy. And let's be honest, most of us probably see it as just a boring rule book. But what if I told you it's actually one of your most powerful shields? That's what we're going to dig into today. How this policy isn't just about rules, it's about protecting you.
Okay, let's just jump right in with a scenario that, can feel like a real tightrope walk. Imagine this. A client offers you some amazing seats for a sold-out concert, or maybe a supplier sends a really expensive gift basket for the holidays. It feels friendly, right? It feels like good business. But could it be something more? Where is that line between a simple gift and a serious bribe? And maybe more importantly, who gets to decide?
Well, that gray area? That's exactly why your company even has an anti-bribery policy in the first place. So I want you to try and think of it less like, corporate red tape, and more like your own personal map and compass. It's designed to guide you when the pressure is on and things get tricky. So let's break it down. Let's look at the anatomy of this thing.
So when you boil it down, any really effective policy is built on 3 core elements. Think of them like pillars. First, it's got to have a clear purpose and scope. What's it for and who does it apply to? Simple enough. Second, it needs to lay out the prohibited actions, the absolute don't do's. And third, and this is a big one, it has to have clear reporting mechanisms, a safe way for you to speak up. These 3 things, they're the foundation for everything else. Okay, so pillar number 1, it all starts with being crystal clear. A good policy has to spell out exactly what the organization considers to be bribery. There can't be any room for interpretation. And right from the get-go, it has to establish a firm, unwavering, zero-tolerance stance. All right, then the policy has to get really specific. It explicitly forbids the kinds of actions that just plain cross the line. We're talking about things like lavish gifts, over-the-top hospitality, or, any kind of payment that's designed to improperly influence a decision. And look, the goal here isn't to stop you from building great business relationships. Not at all. It's just to make sure those relationships are built on trust, not shady transactions.
And that brings us to the third pillar, which you could argue is the most critical of all, reporting. There absolutely have to be clear, confidential, and easy-to-access ways for anyone, and I mean anyone, employees, partners, suppliers, to report a concern without any fear of retaliation. Because let's face it, a policy is only as strong as people's willingness to actually use it, right?
So I mentioned that phrase zero tolerance a minute ago. I really want to dig into what that actually means, because this idea, it's the non-negotiable heart of any truly effective anti-bribery program. So what are we talking about when we say zero tolerance? It is exactly what it sounds like. It's absolute. It means there's no such thing as a small bribe. There are no acceptable forms of corruption. It doesn't matter if it's a direct offer or something that happens indirectly through a third party, the stance is completely firm. Zero means zero. Period. No exceptions.
And why be so absolute about it? Well, because the fallout from just a single act of bribery, it's not some minor issue. This isn't a slap on the wrist. The consequences, for everyone involved, are just incredibly severe.
Yeah, the damage here spreads wide, and it hits both the individual and the company hard. For an employee, we're talking about immediate termination of your job and facing actual legal prosecution. For the company, the stakes are just as high. We're talking massive, potentially crippling fines, and the kind of reputational damage that can take decades to fix. That is, if it can even be fixed at all.
Okay, so hearing all of that, it would be easy to think this is all just about risk and punishment, right? All doom and gloom. But a really well-crafted policy is also about something else entirely. It's about proactive and powerful protection.
And this brings us to a really crucial question. If one person decides to act improperly, does that mean the entire company is automatically on the hook? How can an organization that's genuinely trying to do the right thing defend itself? Well, the answer lies in this really powerful legal concept called the adequate procedures defense. You see it in laws like the UK's Bribery Act, for example, and the idea is actually pretty simple. A company has a legitimate legal defense if, and this is the key part, if it can prove it had strong, proactive measures in place to prevent bribery from happening in the first place.
And you see, this one concept, it completely changes the game. All of a sudden, your company's anti-bribery policy isn't just some boring set of internal rules anymore. Nope, it becomes a real, tangible, legal shield that can protect the entire organization.
So, how do you build this shield? Well, it takes real, consistent effort. It's not a set it and forget it kind of thing. It means not just having a policy, but making sure it's always up to date. It means providing really thorough training so that everyone, and I mean everyone, gets it. You have to actively monitor and review your procedures, and if a risk pops up, you have to act on it immediately. It's a living, breathing system, not some dusty document sitting on a shelf.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. Understanding your company's anti-bribery program isn't just about following rules to stay out of trouble. It's so much more than that. It's about you, personally, actively helping to build and hold that shield that protects everyone, you, your colleagues, and the entire organization.
Which really leaves us with just one final thought. The policy, it gives you the framework. The law, it can provide the defense. But at the end of the day,